Hello, I'm Michael Hernandez. I teach journalism, photography, and filmmaking at Miracosta High School, which is a public school in the Los Angeles area. And right now, students are really searching for the purpose behind their learning, and I can really think of no greater purpose than to help them make a positive change on the world. And so what I want to do now is maybe share some projects that my students have created that will hopefully inspire your curriculum and your students. I feel that it's important to let students put themselves into their work, to choose topics and aspects of my curriculum that resonates with them. This year, the ideas revolved around the pandemic, politics, isolation, and racism. Students explored political issues by choosing a topic that they cared about, researching that topic, and then creating a social media graphic. They posted their work on social media accounts to expose these ideas to a wide audience beyond our school. One of my favorite assignments my students completed this year was a project based on the prompt, "In the Shadows." Students interpreted the theme in a variety of ways and created projects in ways that they felt was best for their goals. A student decided to explore undocumented immigrants in the US by creating a website documenting their lives. One of my black students addressed racism by interviewing students of color about their experiences, then created a series of stylized portraits and designed a digital book that included these photos and the audio interviews. Motivated by the Black Lives Matter protests, another student found a way to address racism within her community by producing a podcast. This project required her to develop a plan, contact a variety of people she didn't know, conduct interviews, write a script, and edit and publish these audio stories. I always encourage my students to create projects for a global audience, so when the New York Times created a contest for teens, I encouraged my students to submit their work. One of my students created this photo illustration, which represented what 2020 meant to him. It was selected out of thousands of submissions and was published in the New York Times. The first point I want to make is that students should own their learning, meaning that they should have a personal interest in the topic and be free to make connections between our curriculum and their own lives. The second point I want to make is that students should have agency. We need our students to be independent thinkers and to become thoughtful, active citizens. The best way to do that is to empower them with the skills and the mindsets they need to set goals and act in ethical ways. Finally, I feel that all of our assignments should help students engage with the real world beyond the classroom. Learning doesn't end at the classroom walls, and these kinds of projects help students to solve real-world problems once they leave school. We can assess our students with tests, but there's no better way to evaluate their learning than by seeing the impact their work has on an audience beyond the classroom. Publishing work and participating in festivals is more rewarding and has much more meaning for them than any grade I could ever give them. My students rely on a variety of tools to complete their projects, some free or low-cost tech, or maybe the mobile phones that they already own. The concepts here translate to every grade level and don't really need a lot of money to produce. The idea here is that you focus on the ideas and give time and space for inquiry, student agency, and passion.